How's everyone doing today? We are taking a look at the He-Man and Masters of the Universe cartoon collection, Ram Man. Now, as you know, we did take a look about a month ago at Faker slash 2.0 He-Man. So I thought, let's see how it goes with Ram Man. But anyway, let's get into packaging. So the card back, unlike Faker, is completely different. You know, Mattel usually likes to change the card, but it's very nice. Of course, the figure is right here. Here's the back, sorry for squeakiness. So on the top, you could see a picture of Ram Man jumping like Sprilling, which is pretty cool. So in this wave, you got She-Ra and you got Antina. You got another idol piece. And then, of course, it's talking about his leg articulation, which is pretty cool. Then, of course, you got the warnings and the barcode and yada yada, all that stuff. But anyway, let's crack him open and see what he's all about. Now that we got Mr. Ram Man out of his packaging, let's take a look at the figure. So it looks accurate to the cartoon. I like how Mattel does with their cartoon collection. Try to be very faithful to the source material they can. It looks like Ram Man. There's no way you're not going to know who this is. He does not have the sprint effect here. He does not have that. So, unlike if you have the Origins toy, which I don't have anymore, that one actually had the gimmick where it would sprint. This one does not. This one's just a full-fledged action figure. Now, I want to fair warn you that the armor piece is separate, so it will come off pretty easily. Just want to fair warn you on that part. He doesn't have alternate hands. Kind of sucks. I like it when Mattel gives their Motu figures, alternate hands and stuff, so we can get in different kind of poses. You know what I mean? Like, that's always fun. But the accessories we get, it's fine. It's fine. But let's look into those. So we got a comic, as usually I get figured. Now, when they put it on there together, they accidentally glued this on it. So this part is ripped. If I'll pull one of the strings, you could tell. That sucks. Here's the cover, Horde Invasion. There again is the comic. You can pause this if you want to read it. Of course, I got the American version. Like I said, just trying to keep my fingers out of the way. Just pause this if you want to read all of it. Trying to hold it out for a little bit. Oh, there's the instruction manual. So here's the other page. It's the last one. She-Ra, of course, in the end, saying, "Good shall always prevail." So that's nice. And then here, of course, again, is the figures. And then for the instruction manual, they always include these with what are the parts you can swap out, which I don't think nobody's really going to swap out. Again, you see there's that rip piece too. What parts you can swap out with other figures, mix and match, but I don't think there's many people who do that. Of course, shout out to Mr. Home Arcade who did a lot of customs, but I don't think you're going to do it with these figures, so I don't know. Might try it on here, but let's wait and see. But anyway, besides the figure, he of course comes with the idol that we was talking about. Pretty neat and cool, I guess. Gotta figure out what it goes to, but still nice. And for some comparisons here, I'll bring in, of course, Skeletor. One of my favorite figures is actually back in 2023 made my top 10 figures of the year just because how I like it. And then, of course, we've got Mr. Faker, but I gave him, of course, the alternate He-Man head. And you can see Ram Man is just a bit too short compared to He-Man and Skeletor. But then again, they're reusing the bigger, bulkier size body. So it would have benefited if Ram Man came with the leg sprinting gimmick, but I get why they didn't. So that's pretty neat. So let's get into swapping some parts here. There's that little pop. There's that pop. So you can do something like this. Ta-da! When you put the armor, it won't slide over because of the harness. But you can basically get the gist of it. You mix and match parts, you swap them out. Like, that's just what it's all about. Having fun with your action figures, in my opinion. That's what a lot of times a lot of collectors seem to forget is how we buy these figures. We collect them, sure, and put them on our shelf, but we need to at times mess around with them because we're spending good money on these. And we could be buying, I don't know, clothes and stuff. But he's back to normal. And I'll just give my final assessment here of this figure while I can, while I'm filming him. I do like this guy. I think this is a really cool action figure. This is a really cool action figure. Excuse me, my throat is starting to get a little sore. He's a really cool action figure. I like here what we have with this guy. And if, again, you are collecting this cartoon collection, he is pickup. You need to get him if you're going to complete the collection, of course. But if you're sort of like a casual like me, it's fine. It's fun. I kind of wish he came with a gimmick again, the spring gimmick, but he doesn't. But again, this made me a full-fledged action figure, not like Origins where it was to have the gimmick. But he does, again, go well with the Faker He-Man, and then, of course, he does look great next Skeletor. So, my recommendation, he is a must-pick-up for any Masters of the Universe collector. But anyways, everybody, that is all the time I have for today. I appreciate y'all stopping by. You all know what to do. Like, dislike, comment, whatever you think. If you just want to click on it, watch a few seconds and walk on by, go ahead. But if you got the time, just watch. Shoot me up a like, why don't you? It's always appreciated. But, as always, take care.
Plastic Man, the one, the original Elastic Man, always in great shape for the shape he's in, the Fantastic